Can you master your record if it's a last second thing and the artist or the label or whatever it is wants you to master it and just get it out there? What are you going to do? These are important questions you have to ask yourself when looking at the next piece of gear you're going to be investing in. And there's one piece of gear in particular that you definitely should give more attention than the rest. And somebody who I want to shout out for some of this information because he puts out so much dope information and no one sees it for some reason, but is John Castelli. The guy's a genius. He doesn't have to be your cup of tea as far as mixing goes, but he is fairly objectively one of the strongest mixing minds on the planet. His advice as far as investments in your studio is very, very straightforward, and it's a piece of advice that I actually follow myself and I preach to anybody who's looking to invest some money into their setup. The most important things you could be investing in, and I want to clarify this, the most important thing, even if you record yourself, whatever it is your speakers. A lot of people don't realize how much isn't actually wrong with their setup. How the preamp is not broken, their microphone is not broken or not fitting the wrong way into their mix. It's not the mic, it's not the interface, it's not the computer or the plugins, it's not the DAW. If your monitors are not giving you the truth, if they're not giving you enough information, how could you possibly think you can avoid getting the right monitor pair and then mix and produce without at least a quality pair of headphones and get an industry competitive result? The truth of the matter is not every single person is meant to be a platinum Grammy award winning mixing or mastering engineer. But if you really desire to make music at the quality that you do, you have to think the way that these people think. People who are very, very high achievers and execute at a very high level. Those people tend to think about what their gear does for them and not how they can make their gear work for them instead. A lot of us are stuck in, oh, if I just get the right mic, if I just get the right vocal chain, if I just get the right drum set, if I just get the right compressor, get the right this and that. If you get bigger and better speakers for mixing and mastering, if you get bigger speakers to reference your productions to do better sound selection or whatever, you will find that one by one, you will not be needing a lot of the gear that you think you did for your mixing, for your recording. Not nearly as many pieces as you thought. The more accurate my speakers got, the more limited my outboard and analog gear collection got. And some of you might think that that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because, you know, why would you be selling analog gear? There's so much magic there. And I love analog gear because I'm a purist and it's the only way I want to mix. Yeah, for sure. You don't have to change anything if you like the way that you're working. But at the end of the day, when you have speakers that don't lie to you, using plugins becomes a hell of a lot easier. I personally use a top-down mixing kind of template when I mix. I prefer to put very simple and subtle colors that analog and thicken up my mix on my mix bus. I prefer to do things that way as opposed to have singular tracks and buses maybe coming out into analog and going back in. I'd rather have the whole thing kind of be shined up. And I do like using summing mixers as well. That's kind of the only thing that I would really bring to the mix from an analog side of things. If I need some tube character, if I need some solid state character, whatever it is that I need. That being said, if you are spending under $1,000 on monitors because that's all you can afford right now, I just want you to know that you have to save up and work towards buying better monitors before you work towards buying maybe a better interface or a better compressor. If your computer sucks, that probably is going to be an important thing to swap out. But if it's not that fast and you just need more speed, I would say maybe upgrade your monitors first if it's bearable. If your computer's working, stop getting malware and other things that are killing it and just use it and get better monitors. This is really, really, really important. And a lot of people think that they should be looking for the best budget pair of monitors or the best this and that. Your favorite YouTubers, I promise you, are spending a lot of money on their monitors. If you can't hear, you cannot mix what you're not hearing. So hopefully this inspires you guys to spend just a little bit more time thinking about what monitor you should be buying next, what monitors you need to invest in if you don't already have a pair that's doing the job that you need, and think about keeping some of those microphones, maybe some of those synths, some of the analog pieces of gear that you think isn't working for you. You're going to know for sure when you get a better pair of speakers. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Subscribe if you like today's content. I know it was a little more aggressive, but I need to run this home for you guys. Don't disappoint me. I'm kidding. You can never disappoint me. Just get some good monitors, all right? Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.